So there's a difference there. So if they've got a high amount of revenue that they can get per job, and you're delivering some leads, that's going to be worth more. So you've done kind of all that research, and you've decided that that's what you're going to go into. You've got 2 to 3 cities, and you're out there exploring the marketplace with it. First thing I would do is, and that's the easiest thing to do, is you just create the call whisper, and you can have the call whisper as simple as, hey, you're getting a free lead from whatever your company name is. You could even leave a phone number and say, if you want to continue to receive more of these free leads, give us a call at, or visit us at this site. And then it goes boop, and it goes over to a live customer. That's the easiest laydown way you can possibly get clients, okay? Not all of them are going to call. Some are going to call and visit your site and say, stop sending me the leads. Believe it or not, that doesn't happen very often, but that can happen. There's crazy people. There's all kinds of situations out there, right? So, but others are going to be very interested. So that would be the easiest, fastest way to do it, and that's how I recommend it. In the course, you show us how to rank for other neighboring cities. However, I'm a little confused and unclear of exactly how to do it. Are you just creating and copying the main page for the neighboring cities and changing the geographic information, or are you installing another instance of word theme subdomains and publishing neighbor cities? Okay, so I answered that question at the beginning of the webinar, but just really quickly, that's the Chicago one for the neighboring cities. You're literally just copying and pasting the home page, and you're just switching out the Chicago for Cicero or Chicago for Aurora, and at the bottom of the page, you're just changing the geo-targeting there, so you're just reducing the amount of zip codes for that particular area, and it's just a page. That's all you're doing. Real simple. Don't overcomplicate it. I have a couple of questions. Okay, these are good questions on here. A couple of questions in selecting URLs and niches on here. And I'm not doing this very often. Let me just make sure that. Okay. What I'm going to do here, I probably should make a habit of doing this earlier rather than just plowing through these. Let me finish this question, and then I'll go over to the chat box and ask some questions, because there's probably questions relating to ones I've asked earlier. So probably a little bit more fluid to go back and forth. Anyways, if I have a couple questions in selecting URLs and niches, how specific should we get? Too narrow may eliminate traffic. Too broad may pull in the wrong traffic. For example, plumber El Paso versus plumbing services El Paso. Payroll versus, okay, so cool. So let's go back. I'll show you exactly how to do this. Good question, by the way. Means you're thinking. Alrighty, so let's go. Did I cancel that out? I hope I didn't. I did. Okay, so let me just log back into my Google Word tool. Free. And we'll log into it. And let's first see what kind of searches they get, because they seem like buying terms to me so far. And okay, cool. So what we'll do here, I'm just going to take this, and it may not be in a either or either. These might be close enough to plumber L. Is that right? Oh, I know what I did wrong. Plumber El Paso. Okay. And then plumber service El Paso. I'm going to, most people type in plumber services, so I'm just going to do that one below. Okay, so let's just do a search here. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah. So, did I misspell anything there to make that 0? Yeah. I would be ranking for Plumber El Paso. And let me just add cost per click here. See what that is. Okay, so I would be adding. I would be, if you were going to build a page around plumber, and then the word plumber El Paso, and then you got plumbing services on here. Let's see what other variations there are here. Yeah, emergency plumbing. Plumbing is actually better. So plumbing El Paso. Yeah, that's better right there. So this would be your lead keyword off of this initial research. Plumbing file. Let's take a look at that, whatever there. And that's just a flip-flop of it, and that's fine. That looks a pretty good one. That's Las Vegas, though. Okay, so based on what I'm seeing here, I would be eliminating these two, and this would be 2 of maybe my 4 to 5 to maybe 6 similar keywords. So and I would lead with the one that has the most searches. So right now the one that has the most searches is Plumbing El Paso. Plumbing El Paso has more searches, and it has a higher cost per click, which is pretty natural for that. So that's the one I would be leading with. You could easily get a page to rank for Plumber El Paso and Plumbing El Paso with keywords, and you'd just be surprised how plumbing. And I know people misspell plumber. I can't remember how it's misspelled, though. I'm surprised I haven't misspelled it. And then here would be another one, plumbers, S. Again, different searches, slightly different price point on that, so people do search for that. So that would be another variation of the keyword. Maybe plumbers in El Paso. Take a look at that. And I totally screwed that up. Hold on. Okay. And see, plumbers in El Paso would be another one. It's a different keyword. So these would be the variations. There would be some others too. You just have to kind of research it around. But let me go back to your sheet here. Yeah, exactly. Too narrow eliminates the traffic. So the ones that didn't have any traffic, I wouldn't be going after those. Too broad may pull in the wrong traffic. But someone who types in plumber is probably not the wrong traffic. I mean, that's somebody who's probably looking for a plumber, or someone who types in plumbers in El Paso. They're definitely looking for a plumber in El Paso. And I get some pretty good searches there from what we've got. So payroll El Paso versus payroll services in El Paso. I think this is probably going to be this. Yeah, I mean, this is. It's going to be the same results for these next two on here. Does it matter if the city is used as a prefix or a suffix? And it actually does. So let's just give it an example here. So we'll go El Paso Plumber. By the way, I would be sending backlinks for both of these, both Plumber El Paso and El Paso Plumber, to be switching it up. But when you on the broad, it won't show, but on exact, it will show which one gets the most searches. So Plumber El Paso is 22 and El Paso Plumber is 16. So I would be going after an exact match that would have the plumber first. And it's almost always the case that it's going to be the service plus the city name that gets the most searches. But you're going to want to put your meta tags and flip them around, and you're going to want to every once in a while I'll send a link to it that would show El Paso Plumber as a link going to it, and then Plumber El Paso as a link. It won't take too many of those for Google to figure it out that they're gonna. And plus, Google's once you've created the silo structures and the original content on it with the post, Google's going to want to show you off, okay? Because you're going to be the best choice. So if someone, whether they type El Paso Plumber or Plumber El Paso, you're going to be the one that's going to want to show up. But as far as the wording goes, it's normally in almost every niche. There was another niche I can't remember. I was going over someone else the other day. I think it was a law niche. Doesn't work that way, but for the most part, all niches are going to be the service plus the city name are going to get the most searches on that. Okay, I'm going to grab a quick drink. Where did you put the additional city pages that you created? I don't see them in the site menu. I didn't put it. We didn't put them in the site menu. But you could in there. That's not going to hurt anything at all. You could have a service area, and again, this goes back to the Chicago site. You could have a service area, and then you can just have a drop down menu of, Cicero, Oakwood, all the service areas in there, and you could literally from the title bar just have those drop down. That would be one way to do it, which would be fine. We didn't do it. We're still ranking at number 1. We're still double the traffic, all that kind of stuff. But it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. That would probably be the simplest way to do it. When we're going mobile mechanic. Is it Chicago? Again, we haven't done it, and we're totally killing it. We're specifically targeting people in those areas that are looking for us that way. But we could do service area, and we could actually have a drop down here, and when people hover over it, it would just like drop down, boom, 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 all the service areas. That's not a bad idea. We could just do it that way. We didn't, and you could, and yeah, I think either way is fine. Actually, it's probably smarter to do the service area and drop it down when I think about it, of the different areas. Good question. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, having trouble to get the rich snippets to work. And the rich snippets is when you get those little 5-star things going down, those little 4.5, 5 stars below your site.